Welcome back to another episode of Nitty Gritty. So, you already know the vibes. Of course, real conversations, bold opinions, and the kind of life stories people usually whisper about, right? It's honest, it's unfiltered, and yes, it might shake some tables. But before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So, get comfortable, don't judge, or maybe judge a little. And let's get into it.
Good evening. Sorry for the whole stress.
No problem, it's fine. What's wrong?
Yes, no. Okay, so I hope your day has been going well. I think Facebook is actually a glitch.
Yes, it is
Yeah,
probably is having a downtime or something.
yeah, because it actually worked earlier when I tried it initially. So it's just, it's crazy. But sorry, thank you for giving me your time. I really wanted it to happen today. And
Yeah.
yeah, so Nitty Gritty is a brand I've been building since my birthday. I kind of started working on it on my birthday because work and procrastination eventually got in my way. And, so instead of doing something big, let me just figure out how I can compromise. So Nitty Gritty is a brand that basically portrays me as a person, what I like talking about, and like what I like doing.
Yeah.
So when I reached out to you in terms of my career and the path I want to go choose for myself, you were the best person I figured that okay I should talk to about this conversation. So
Okay.
yes, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what do you do?
Oh, okay. So my name is Josh. Most people call me Josh, but my full name is Ifeanyi. I'm into PR and reputation management. So my background is actually digital marketing, but I decided to focus more on management side of things. So that's a little bit about me. And I love I love football. I love anime sometimes. I'm enjoying a relationship with this period. So but yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Okay, that's fine. So just let's get straight to the point. So branding is something that a lot of people are confused about.
Yeah.
Okay, why is the importance of branding? A lot of business owners will be like, oh, they don't really see branding as its importance to them. So as a marketing expert, why should a founder consider branding, or why should it be a priority for a founder, for any founder or any business owner that wants to eventually start? Why is it important?
Okay, so it's important because branding is like the core of everything. It just shows it lets people to know that you are trustworthy and people can rely on your brand or your expertise in whatever field or industry you are. So for most people, branding to them is to just be a logo on websites, but it's way beyond that. You know, the strategy that's going to supposed to put in place, and also the way people perceive your brand online, because you might see your brand from your own point of view, but how other people see your own brand, and that's what like gives them the ability to want to work with you or not.
Okay. That's actually well put together because when you try to pitch this idea to a lot of people, they find it difficult. Be like, oh, what's the importance? My business is really known,
Yeah.
but I don't. They don't really want to get into the nitty-gritty of what truly branding as an individual and branding your business is. So, which actually leads me to this conversation which has been happening since. So now, for instance, Billboard, we all know that Billboard has a lot of establishments from fintech to real estate to cars. So, and he's the face of all his brands. Nobody does his publicity, he does his promotion himself. So, do you think as a leader, you should put yourself out there all the time, or you should find someone who will do the publicity for you just to protect your image?
Okay. Can you say the question again?
So I said, for instance, now how B Lord is the face of his brand. He
Yeah.
does the promotion. He speaks for his brand. There's no other third party that does that for him. So the question I ask: can too much visibility for him that is like all over the place, and with the whole scandal that has been happening to him and the whole backlash he has been getting, you think with so much visibility that he's putting himself out there has risk, has made him get how do I put it now, has hurt his reputation in so
Yeah.
many ways.
Okay, so I think I did a video yesterday about Billboard. So the thing is that for most people, it might be a smart move to like come from the controversial point of view, which has helped him to get like gathered a lot of followers. People have also downloaded his apps from the fintech app.
Yeah,
You know, once he had. But I think for him, visibility in that aspect is going to have like a negative impact or effect on his brand at the end of the day because he's not an entertainer. He's not an entertainment figure. He's
yeah,
not a person that's this is like a media person that's into entertainment. He's building a serious brand. So people will not really take him seriously because his brand might be doing very well, but most of the conversation is on his personal life, on his
yeah.
personal stories. So for me, it might have its own negative effects. Um, and so when it comes to visibility as a founder, you just have to be strategic. So if, for example, you're a real estate founder, a real estate CEO, your conversations should be relating to your industry, your niche. Even if whatever you're saying is your opinion and not everybody else does not accept it, but you're still within your industry. At least you're being positioned as someone that has something to say and is saying it, rather than being in real estate and all your conversation is mostly on politics, for example. People will not know where you stand at the end of the day. So I feel like it has to be very intentional, not just noise, but very intentional what you put out there.
So do you think, well, like I know that he's sometimes he deviates from basically what he does. So do you think him, getting into controversial topics, controversial conversation helps with his image, helps with the growth of his business? Do you think he purposely enters those conversations or those situations in order to like bring more investment opportunities to his brand?
Yeah, 100%. It's anything online has been curated. You might not really know what's being said behind the scenes. If you're always in the news, if you're always trending online, right, it brings awareness to what you do. People want to check out what you do. So it's not up to people to now say, oh, do we trust this guy not to want to maybe download this app and try him out, So it still has its positive side. Definitely, with the numbers he's gathering, the engagement he's having, it's really helping um, his brand, right? But like I said, it's not the right way to go. From a global point of view, you can get away with a lot of things in Nigeria and
Yeah.
still climb up the ladder, but you might get to a point where there's like a lead. You can't go more than that because there's a perception about you. When you talk about Below now, you already have a perception about him. If you talk about, let's say, the owner of Boa Cement, for example, there's a perception you have about him as well. So it's very important that the way you are being positioned, the way people perceive you should be what you want to see. In my last video, when I said I did a Google search about him, everything you can see about Billboard is being in prison, court, all of these things. So these things are very bad at the end of the day.
And you think, so do you think with this whole issue with Very Dark Man and everything, do you think him coming out or releasing an official statement? There's a video I saw, like when they granted him bail, they were already counting dollars in his hand, right? So do
Yeah.
you think, let's say he decides to give an official statement on what really happened from his own side because he's more like Very Dark Man against him. So do you think him, investing so much in press releases and official statement, giving his own side of the story, do you think it will actually salvage what little reputation he has, or do you think it will also bring more business opportunity? Because now, once you individuals or customers, once you're involved in anything very controversial or scandalous, and especially when it comes to money, they don't really trust your brand. So now that he has faced a lot of this backlash, do you think, how do you think PR will save him in this situation? Will it help him grow, or will it just
Mm.
make him stagnant?
Okay, so there is this statement that is very popular. I think it's Warren Buffett. He said, it can take you 20 years to build a brand and maybe a minute to destroy it.
Yeah.
So it does not take away the fact that Elon still has to, let people know that he's someone credible to work with. and that will not happen overnight. Right? The publications or the PR you put in place, the statements you put in place is going to help, right? But reputation management is a consistency thing. It's not just happen, oh, because of this issue, we dropped the statements, everything will just automatically disappear. And one thing again is that once someone knows something about you, once they have a perception about you, it's always very difficult to
Change that, yeah.
change that, right? So it will take a while for him to, as long as he's trying to do his best to make sure he's not doing anything controversial, which I hardly believe so. He has to just give it some time. He has to give it some time. But I think at the end of the day, that's what he has built his brand about around. So it's gonna be kind of weird seeing him trying to act all cool and normal. He's building his brand around that. So I think that's what's working for him.
Okay. So, there's one other thing that I think is a situation that happened with one of his. Let's just say now, okay, when I know you're a co-founder for Better Digitals. As a co-founder, there's some certain things that or certain decisions you make, and one of them is trying to look good in the public, right? So, do you think did you invest in PR before or after Better Digitals has already grown to some extent, or you started investing before that? So,
Uh, okay, so it was, I think it was immediately after we launched, when we did a rebrand, because we used to be called Better Social before, but we rebranded to Better Digital. So after we rebranded and put everything in place, that is when we started, the PR placements. But I think that for most people, it's always going to be after, because once you start doing all of this publicity, people want to come and check, and they don't want something that is half baked.
yeah.
Everything is tied to credibility. If you are saying, "Oh, we have a product and we have launched it, and it's getting 1,000 users," for example, once you put out those statements and those releases, people will want to go and check, how true is that? Is it legit? And once you come and see that, oh, you've never finished setting up, oh, there's an issue here, there's an issue there, people would, the trust for you will reduce because they assume that you're not fully ready.
Yeah.
And, and just need some sort of like, defense for them. So people want to come. So the best thing is when they come, let them see that everything is set. Everything is set. You guys are ready to go. So I think that's the best way for me. It works best for me that way.
So it's good to invest in PR after building your product.
Yeah, yeah. After you buy your products. After you buy your products. Then you can now like go crazy.
So let's just say, for instance, now me that is trying to, set up my own, show and everything. So what do you suggest I do in this case? I've not really established, but I already know the importance of PR. So do you think I should start early when I don't really have anything to showcase yet? Or I should just wait for the meantime to like get, some more visibility organically? Or what do you suggest I do?
Okay, so for is nitty gritty, right? Nitty gritty when you come.
Yes.
So I think the first thing first is to build your as like additional content on a regular basis. Then once so you don't have to do like take like maybe 3 months to do that, but at least regular content. Now when you're announcing what integrity is all about, there are milestones. For example, maybe there is a special edition you want to put out. So by the time people are coming to know what's up, they say, "Oh, this city has been having guests from way back, maybe earlier in the year or towards the end of the year." So with that now, when you're coming out, you're already ready because you don't have to come out, like I said, and you don't have to be fully ready. So they said, how do you put it again, that you just have to keep moving. So you have to just keep moving. Then you have a plan that, oh, maybe every quarter or every month, I have like this PR to put out there on what we're doing. Just like the same thing people do with CSR. CSR, So the company says that they want to do CSR in the end of the year. Before the end of the year, they are rolling out some contracts. They've got locations, they've done things, they've documented everything. Now, when you're placing it in the media, all package, you're not leaving out anything. You're showing like examples of things you've done already, which shows that people don't know what they're doing.
Okay, thank you so much. That was really, really helpful. And so now this. I'm sure you saw what happened last month. This whole thing started beginning of this month, I think so. It's this company, Bond Bread, where the lady came out and said, she bought a bread and it has stayed for like over the period of 2 months. I think 1 or 2 months she talked about, and she didn't mention the brand, right? But she was holding the brand, like holding the brand, but she didn't show the brand. So the owner of the establishment, the woman, came out and made like an official statement, saying that she reached out to the girl, and instead of the girl to like, okay, can you tell where did you buy it from? And she blocked her everywhere, according to the woman. So the whole thing went viral because of one reason. I feel the girl wanted to, yes, she must. I don't think it stayed that long. One and two, when the woman came online, because I always feel that when you believe in your product and someone comes out to, call you out, everybody will say, "Ah, France, you're doing the right thing. You say, have loyal customers." So the woman coming out to give an official statement, do you think she handled that situation perfectly, or she would have done something way much better than what she did?
Okay, so the bond bread situation is almost similar to this food brand, Erisco Foods. Erisco Foods, they arrested I think the woman that called them out for their canned tomatoes, their tin tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they arrested her. I think they said then she was pregnant as well too. And they said she lost the baby. So the thing is that as a brand, as a brand, there are ways to approach things, right? Dropping a statement is one of them. It shows that so in the manner of the statement. So in terms of how do you address the situation? Now, the woman that did the review blocking them actually a wrong move from I don't know if it's an influencer or whoever that did the video. It's a wrong move, right? Because if the company is reaching out to you, they want to know more about the issue. Oh, right. Okay, how do we what's the word now? Like compensate you for this?
Yeah.
But due to the blocking and everything, I guess maybe that's what escalated the issue. And most of these brands, they understand that people want to use their name to trend. People want to use a brand, just like, for example, Transcorp now, with the whole water was not rushing in Transcorp, they're using buckets. Now, someone came out and tweeted that, right? But in actual reality, from the statement Transcorp dropped, right, they said it was just a couple of hours, and still that same day, water was rushing again. But online, it was as if there was no water for the whole day in Transcorp. And for the one that's not in Transcorp, they'll have a I believe that the way we should have gone is, first of all, as a brand, you have to show empathy. That's always the first thing. If you want to show, because the public will always side, the people that is that have less power. So if you come and say, "Oh, police arresting the person," or dropping a statement and maybe arresting the person behind the scenes, at the end of the day, people will not care about whether you're trying to solve the situation. They just automatically assume that you want to, intimidate the person. So, but I feel like empathy should have been the way to go. But at the same time, whoever did the video shouldn't have. I think you said blocking, right? They shouldn't have blocked the person or the. Or,
Spoken out and I bought this from
yeah,
here. And
yes. So it's a situation that would have been really managed. But I think when emotions come into play in all of these things, it escalates very quickly and it can really, really damage the brand. Just like I said for Erisco now, Erisco's brand, their image was totally damaged. They might not see it that way, but in the long run, people just tend to not want to, being in line with that brand anymore.
Especially when it comes to anything food or anything that's
Food,
people are
food.
very skeptical. People are like, oh, this girl have said this now, and that's really great advice because everybody now is basically doing everything to just they want to trend, and sometimes it's just you're trending for the wrong reasons. People will know you as someone who like just to get fame, and the brand you're supposedly trying to get attention from or you want to work with will be like, oh, you just like to get
Yeah, yeah,
publicity. So by the time they will hire you or something, they'll be like, oh, this person can snitch and or
yeah.
so yeah. So my final question is personal branding becoming mandatory for career growth? Do you think it's compulsory now that every leader have should have enough, publicity and brand themselves properly in order to set a certain standard for their business?
Yeah. So personal branding, I think it just comes with the times, and the times we are in. Personal branding is like very important. Uh, it's not just for PR placements. You know, it's your overall personal brand. Your personal brand, as a result of Onyedika, is how you dress.
Yeah,
How if someone sees you now, how you speak, how you relate to people. People forget that the thing that personal branding is just what I post on social media. But it goes beyond that because you can be good on social media and offline you're a very terrible human being. And people will eventually know once they are in business with you. So I believe that for personal branding, you just have to build it, but build it in a I'll use the word authentic. Just build it in a way that it's for you. It's when somebody sees you in person, they know that the way he is online or the way she is online is the way they are in person. For myself, it took me a while to come on videos or do videos, right? Because of I was not confident in appearing in front of videos. But if you see me in person and we talk about marketing or whatever, I have a lot to say, right? So it comes as you go. So you just have to, for people they like to write, one of the places people write a lot is on maybe on Medium or Substack. You can take that and build your personal brand. You get for some people they are very confident in front of camera, do videos, do stuff, into your personal brand. Then at the end of the day, what I'll keep saying to people is that don't forget your digital footprints because with AI now, I believe that we already know where we're heading to, and everything is going to be um, it's going to be online. So everything's going to be on the internet. And the way though people want to work with you is whatever they see online.
yeah,
If someone is in the US now and he says, "Oh, I want to do a partnership with Nitty Gritty," right?
yeah,
They can't know about Nitty Gritty just by being in the US. They want to do research. So one thing I tell people is to control whatever narrative you want to have out there. So what do you want Nitty Gritty to be known as? Oh, are we focused on like African founders or African stories, right? Once you put that out and they come to check out your brand, they are saying that is in line with your goals, what you set out to do. It gives them more trust in you. Now, this is not about followers because people um always take followers and credibility. Or if I'm like, for example, Billboard is going viral,
yeah,
it's not making me credible, right? But on the flip side, if you see an entrepreneur that has built something and his growth is not instant, it's been a gradual thing. Oh, since 2020 he has been talking about agriculture. He's
yeah,
been talking about agriculture. He gets speaking engagements, right? He's on podcasts. Once you say all of these things, they already automatically believe you that you know what you're saying. And they will go for that person rather than someone that is maybe trying to do behind the scenes. But that's what I was doing, trying to be behind the scenes most of the times. But at the end of the day, you have to just show your face. You have to speak, you have to talk, and just let people relate with you.
yeah. That's very important because when your face like this real estate developer from this land, his face is everywhere, literally everywhere.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah,
was in Wuse, Mitama, like everywhere. So
yeah,
when people see him, they'll be like he's promoting his stuff because most real estate owners and developers they come will be like they don't want people to know the person behind it. They want somebody to be like, no, that man shows his face and that actually builds trust. I think that's why most of his properties are being sold out almost
Very
immediately.
fast. Yeah.
Oh, this man is here. He's involved in every aspect of marketing. He's not,
Yeah.
scared. So that's very important. That's a very good point you made. That as the owner of the brand, I always feel you should build your brand. You should be the face of your brand at the beginning. Then, when it gets to some certain points, you just have to step back and to see can your brand really survive
Yeah.
without you being present.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much, Josh, for sharing. This was very insightful, and I really enjoyed the conversation. Sorry for the stress initially,
No,
and
it's fun. It's my first live in a very long time. I think somebody live was like 2 years ago on Instagram.
yeah.
So,
So I know most people now, when they are trying to do live, is they try to go to Twitch, and that platform is much is way better than Instagram, and
oh, you mean the app Twitch?
yeah, yeah, it's more. If you want to live stream now, it's mostly those apps. Maybe
Oh, okay.
when they mention Twitch or YouTube, because in terms of the glitching and every other thing, but Facebook now, I think is a general problem. You can only go live and just be only yourself. Then
Yeah.
just be engaging with people.
Yeah.
Then but so thank you so much
You're
for
welcome. You're
your time,
welcome.
and I hope you have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too. You too. I'm looking forward to joining another time again. I
It's be
believe,
physical this time around. It's be
I
physical this
believe
time
that
around.
that's what I want to say to be physical. So I look forward to that. I believe that Nitty Gritty is going to go far.
You should do.
Yeah.
I know. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you
All
for
right.
having me. Bye
All right.
bye.
Bye.